Good morning, everyone. We are 2 minutes before start time. So this is a time to get yourself ready. You want to have some music going, if that's going to help you move, have some water close by, have comfortable clothes on, a nice sturdy chair, ideally without armrests so that you can move all around, and a safe space for movement. We are going to be staying in our chairs again today. So you don't need to worry about too much around you, but we'll get started in 2 minutes. Great. See you back here soon. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Cowichan Brain Injury's Morning Wake Up Program. I'm Billy, the registered kinesiologist at Cowichan Brain Injury Society, and I'm pleased to present you with our 10, 10, and 10. Cowichan Brain Injury Society is a nonprofit organization serving folks who have had brain injury as well as their families and supports in the Cowichan Valley. We provide social supports, one-on-one sessions, and education. Our 10, 10, and 10 program that we've started here on YouTube, it has 10 minutes of movement, 10 minutes of learning, and 10 minutes of mindfulness. These are kind of in line with the 6 pillars of brain health. So these 3 pieces covers get moving more, stress management, and cognitive stimulation. So let's get started. Just as a little bit of a reminder that Cowichan Brain Injury Society is not liable for any injuries. It is extremely important that you are in a safe environment. I prefer that people are on a sturdy, straight back chair where there's no armrest, so they're able to twist and move fully. We are doing this session just with seated exercises, and next month, so next week, we'll start doing some standing exercises. So make sure you're in a safe environment without much clutter, where you can move around freely, where you're not going to hit anything, you're in comfortable clothing, and you have some water in case you need to hydrate. It is extremely important to always be listening to your body and taking it at your own pace. If there's any discomfort, you need to modify the movements. If you're feeling like things are too strenuous, taking a moment to sit and breathe and connect with your body again, or if you're experiencing any dizziness or nausea, just pause, get yourself kind of sorted, and then start moving again at a pace that feels good for you. I always play some music. I recommend you grab some music that helps you want to move as well. The sound we're not sure if the sound works out if I play the music. Also, you might not like my music. So finding, a stereo or have your own earbud for the next 10 minutes to help you move and groove would be great. I think I covered everything. Like I said, I'd like you in a straight back chair with no armrests. And while we're doing the moving, if possible, we're going to be trying to work to a full 10 minutes of movement. So, and I want you to be in an upright, solid position. I'm going to move back a little bit because it's a little bit dark on that one, the top there. So I want you kind of at the edge of your chair and having your belly button kind of pulled in a little bit, creating a nice, strong posture as we start moving. Okay, I'm going to put my music on and we'll get going. Let's see what I got going on today. All right. You can start bringing your arms up above your head and down, reaching back. Up above and down. You can go as quickly, like an arm swing, nice and quick here, or intentional. We are trying to get our heart rate up, so a little bit of a quicker movement can be good for that. Good, a few more here. Nice, big arm circles. Whoop. Other way. Good work. Let's do some twisting. Again, this can trigger some nausea. So moving at a just slow pace, a small twist is fine. But if you're able to, we'll kind of get that body going. It's getting your spine lubricated. Nice, a little bit longer here, about 5 more seconds. Awesome. We're going to reach forward and then bring it back to your heart like you're rowing. So reaching forward, and you can think of yourself rowing here, but bending forward at your hips and then squeezing your shoulder blades at the back. Nice. Try to do about 30 to 45 seconds of each movement. Keep it up. Good. Couple more here. Reaching forward, squeezing our shoulder blades together. Nice. Good. We're at the edge of the chair here. We're going to kick out in front of us. You can add some hands, reaching forward, bracing that stomach, engaged core, getting our quads going, the front of our thighs. Again, listening to your body. Keep it up. A few more seconds here. About 15. I'm going to do another 15. Good. Almost there. 5 more. Good. There we go. Okay, let's march in place. Bringing our knee up to our chest as best we can. We can bend our torso just slightly towards that knee too to get a little bit of ab engagement. Awesome. And we're going to get our arms going too here. So we're going to lift the opposite arm to the sky. So up, up, up. Nice. Up, up, up. Now that we've added the arms, we'll go for a couple more seconds. Good job. Let's do about 10 more seconds here with our arms. If ever adding in the arms or the legs is too much, you can just stick to one action. Good work. We're almost there. Nice job. Let's do a side step. I'm going to move my water out of the way. Again, going at a pace that feels good for you. You can try and get it to a beat. It's awesome. Keeping that torso upright. We're going to do a little twist. Just a little one. Towards the leg that's going out to the side. Good job. We're going to do just our ankles here. So we're lifting up and then our toes up. Lifting, toes up. You probably can't see that, but I'm keeping my heels down, toes up, then heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up. Let's get our arms a little swing while we're doing that. Good. Keep the heart rate up by continuing to keep the movement a little bit more dynamic, a bit more muscles and joints moving. Good. We're about halfway through our movement. Do this for 10 more seconds. Do a nice strong reach here. This is also getting our brain thinking by doing 2 different movements at the same time. Awesome. Give it a little shake. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to go toes, knees, sky. Toes, knees, sky. Awesome. Good work, everyone. About 10 more seconds here. Again, if this is triggering any nausea, you can just go knees, sky, so you're not bending over as far. Good, one more. Awesome. We're going to do one shoulder, the other one. I like to get my whole arm moving if you can, up towards your shoulder. Awesome. And go the other way. Like a swim. Going at your pace. Couple more seconds here. Let's do our arms with a side bend, side bend, side bend. Arm wave, side bend. Nice work. Right, a couple more seconds here. Okay, we're gonna do some kind of knee, I don't know what we want, knee slides. This actually gets your joints going in your hips as well. You can think of one knee kind of coming in a bit more and then switching to the other knee. It's getting some internal rotation. And then again, go at a pace that feels good for you. Might feel that butt sliding on the chair. That's fine. My heels are up when I'm doing this, but if yours are down on the ground and just sliding on the floor, that's just fine too. And this is more of a flow movement. Trying to get our heart rate up a little bit. Good. Awesome. Okay, we're going to try and slide our leg back. So our legs are out in front of us, and then we're just taking one, sliding it back, forward just as far as you can. Good work. If you have to lean forward a little bit on that slide back, that's okay. Good. I'm going to go to the other leg. Trying to get the back of our legs working. It's called the posterior chain, so our hamstrings. And our glutes working a little bit here. Good. Got about 1 more minute. Good. We're going to do a kind of a wood chop. So we're going to bring our arms over our head, over the one ear. So I'm over my right ear, and then I'm going down, crossing. Crossing our body over to the opposite knee. So if I'm on my right ear, left knee. Good. Okay, we're gonna go the opposite side. So I'm over my left and then going down to my right. It might look the opposite in the video. I don't know if they flip it or not. Good. We're keeping that abdominal, the core nice and strong and engaged here. Giving a little twist and a squeeze as we come down. Again, if this is nauseating, you just go this far. You just get a minimal twist. If you have trouble with lifting your arms, you always hold arms, like hold hands to help the other arm. If you have one side that doesn't work. Okay, that's our 10 minutes of exercise. Oh, the music was a little distracting at the end. Just gonna put that in my pocket. All right, grab a glass of water. Hydrate yourself. Should have got our heart rate up a little bit there. I think we did pretty good. Yeah, mine's up a bit. Okay, we're gonna do our learning piece now. We're gonna continue our conversation about mindfulness, but we'll wrap it up today. There's just a couple more things I wanted to discuss. I don't know if any of you got the chance to listen to the Huberman Lab. No pressure if you don't, because I'm kind of covering a lot of the themes. But he talks about this idea of interoceptive versus exteroceptive, and that we're on this continuum. So some of us are more interoceptive, and what that means is that we're more in tune with our internal environment. So this might be like, we notice our emotions coming on. We notice anxiety coming on very quickly. We can tell when our temperature is shifting. We can easily decipher when we need to go to the washroom. If this sounds like you lean more towards being more interoceptive, which we kind of have a default. Exteroceptive is being more influenced and aware of your external surrounding. So you might get overwhelmed by external stimuli very easily. You can kind of assess what's happening in a space quite quickly. You might be more in tune with other people than yourself. So you might have more of a default to kind of this exteroceptive way of being. Now, I guess there's a way to kind of tell where you fall in this, which I tried to do, and I'm not too sure for myself where I land, but I do know that sometimes I get really involved with something and I'm like, forget, I need to go to the washroom, and then suddenly it comes on really strong that I need to go to the washroom, or I don't notice I'm thirsty or hungry until it's really intense. So I think I might lean a bit more to the exteroceptive, but also I can be pretty oblivious to my external surroundings. But it is said that if you close your eyes, which automatically makes you a bit more interoceptive, as soon as you close your eyes, you're going to be more aware of what's going on inside of you because you're taking away that visual input, and we are very visual creatures. So if you close your eyes and you can notice your heartbeat, and you're not taking your heart rate here by putting your fingers on your neck or on your wrist. Just without that, do you have an idea of how quickly your heart is beating? And if you're able to tap into that quite easily, you're probably more interoceptive than exteroceptive. Okay, so why is this important for mindfulness? Well, it's said that once you figure out where you lie on this continuum of more internally aware versus externally aware, then you can practice mindfulness techniques that are actually the opposite of your default, creating, I guess, a bit more rounded and more mindful of both external and internal pieces. So, finding where you are on this continuum is helpful, because then you can decide what type of mindfulness might be the most helpful for you. So if you are more interoceptive, so you can connect internally with your emotions and your temperature and your bodily functions, your physical sensations internally, then practicing exteroceptive mindfulness practices such as having a sound that you focus on, or having a flame that you look at when you're trying to be mindful, or an item on the table, which we did last week. So finding something that you're refocusing on. It can also be like a physical sensation, like a tapping, which we'll actually do today. So yeah, it can be sound, anything external to you that you are focusing on and is your point of refocusing. If you tend to be more exteroceptive, defaulting to being aware of your external surroundings more and what's going on outside of yourself, then practicing more interoceptive mindfulness will be more beneficial. So that is closing your eyes, paying attention to your breathing, noticing what's happening internally. This is, I think, a lot of what we go to with mindfulness is this more interoceptive, like focusing on our breathing, focusing on sensations within our body about relaxation or tightness in muscles, etc. And this can be very helpful if you're a more exteroceptive person, more externally leaning. But it has also, there's been some evidence that if you're already very internally focused and might experience some anxiety because you might notice your physical changes really quickly, that practicing that interoceptive, internal kind of mindfulness can actually heighten your anxiety. So that's good for us to know, right? Another piece that is spoken about is just how to manipulate your breathing, depending on the result you want with your mindfulness practice. So this is really quick. Basically, there's been research and evidence to show that if you inhale for longer than you exhale, so if I inhale for 5 counts and then exhale really short, inhale, exhale short, this will help me be more alert. The opposite way, so if I exhale for longer than my inhale, that will be a more calming effect. So depending on what you want, if you're having a practice in the morning and you're wanting to, go out and get a bunch done later, or you have a stressful day coming up, you might decide to lengthen certain parts of your breath and shorten certain parts of your breath. So to go over that again, if your inhale is longer, so inhaling is longer and your exhale is shorter, that will help you be more alert. If you have a shorter inhale with a long exhale, that will have a more calming effect on your body. So when we're doing our mindfulness practices, feel free to choose whichever one feels best for you. So if I'm counting you in, if it's really easy to follow a guided thing, feel free to do whatever I'm doing. But if you're able to be like, oh, I'm going to lengthen my exhale here because I really want to feel calm because I know I have a stressful activity coming up later, please do that. So that's another piece of mindfulness I want to cover. And then there's one other kind of piece that I wanted to talk about, and is that there is actually a plethora of different ways to practice mindfulness or meditation. You can do walking meditation where you're noticing the cadence of your walking and really noticing the stuff going on around you. So that's that external piece. You're feeling the air on your cheeks. You're noticing the birds chirping or the cars rushing by, depending on where you're walking. But you're really in the moment of walking, and you're refocusing on that external stimuli. You're trying not to think about all these other things that are going on, future, past, etc. You're just in that moment. Remember, mindfulness is really just the practice of being present, of paying attention. And it is also, another way to look at it is the practice of refocusing. So if you have those thoughts come by, that's fine, because the practice is really about refocusing on, all right, what is around me in this moment? There's also something called metta meditation or mindfulness. And this is about kind of giving love, kind of cheesy, love to the world, etc. And they say to start with yourself, like, I accept and love myself. I will be kind and caring to myself. And then you think about, people in your life, you slowly like kind of expand it. So people that you already love and care for, you think good thoughts for them about how you want good things for them, that you want them to have love in their lives, etc. And then you think about people maybe a little bit more removed, even someone you dislike. You try to send love their way, acceptance their way, and then to kind of all of humanity, and even I think the animals and nature, etc. It's kind of like this meta love giving and bringing into yourself as well. So if that's something that resonates for you, it can be a really good practice and can really help with empathy and people who have had post-traumatic stress disorder, like finding some acceptance and love. Guided meditation can be really helpful for people who are new to meditation. So just keep that in mind. So finding something like Headspace, which is an app that gives guided meditation, that can be really helpful if you're new to mindfulness. And focused meditation, like that refocusing on an item, can be really cool or really beneficial for impulse control and getting that interior circulate cortex thicker. So those are the other things I want to talk about mindfulness. I went over a little bit, kind of an extra minute. Next week or next month, we'll be focusing more on exercise and the research and benefits of exercise, which I'm sure many of you know, but we'll get into some of the nitty-gritties, like what is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic exercise? Why are they both different for different things, or good for you in different ways? All right, so we're going to move into our mindfulness practice now. And I wanted to try another one of these more external practices, because I do think that it would be both out. So we'll still focus on our breathing to begin with, but we're going to cross our arms. We're going to do something called butterfly tapping, which is going to give us a physical sensation, which is still even though we're giving ourselves the stimuli, it's still like an external pressure, right? And we're going to focus on that. Right now, I want you to decide, are you going to be wanting to calm your body or energize your body, make yourself more alert? Because I'm going to let you now decide how long you inhale for. You're going to take an inhale now. And you're going to exhale. And if you're trying to alert yourself, that exhale might be short. But if you're trying to calm yourself, that exhale might be really long. So start with just noticing your breath. Are you calming yourself with a large exhale? Or are you energizing yourself with a long inhale? Keeping your eyes open, because we're doing a little bit more of that external focus right now. And once you've kind of engaged a little bit with your breath here, you're going to start tapping. And you can match your breath to how many taps. So you might inhale for 4 taps. You might try to exhale for 6 taps. So this is just a soft beat, a soft tapping. Let yourself sink into the rhythm that you're creating with your tapping. It can be really slow or might be slightly quicker. Doesn't matter. It's just about noticing that beat, that rhythm you're creating, the sensation you're getting from that. I'm going to stay here for another minute. I just want you to really notice what that feels like for yourself. Having a softened gaze, but your eyes still open. You might notice the sound of the tapping as well, another external stimuli. Focus on that sound as well. Just going to do a few more seconds here. All right, you're going to slowly bring yourself back into the full environment that you're in here. Your full body. You can take a couple more deep breaths. Noticing if you're feeling more relaxed, if you were doing that longer exhale, or are you feeling more energized for the day? I don't know. So we have basically 1 more minute left. We didn't quite do our 10 minutes of mindfulness, probably about 5. But as I think I said last week, I'm not sure actually if I shared this or not, is that the research has shown that even 3 minutes of a mindfulness practice a day is helpful. And as we practice mindfulness more and more, we can integrate that into our day-to-day. And actually, the better you get at it, the less you need to practice, because you're able to just be present in the moment more often. So I hope you're noticing maybe some of those benefits now, and that you can have that be with you throughout the day. I hope you feel a bit more ready to take on the rest of your day and the rest of your week. And we hope you come back next Tuesday, where we'll be starting our conversation about different types of exercise and how they work and change your body. Okay. Thank you so much from me, Billy Kinsley, kinesiologist at Cowichan Brain Injury Society, and all of us at Cowichan Brain Injury Society. Thanks. Bye.